conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast being recorded from Gage Patterson's childhood bedroom. I am Dan O'Keefe, and joining me, as always, is someone in Gage's brother's childhood bedroom, and Otto.
Dan, are you in Gage's bedroom?
I am.
Should I walk down the hall and say hi?
I'm next door.
Oh my god, knock knock. Hi.
Hello.
Good. How are you, Dan O'Keefe, soon to be proud owner of a new car?
I am good, that's true. I was car shopping today and I put a deposit down on one, which was terrifying, writing a check for that amount of money.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm sore. I decided...
Why?
So, I've been rock climbing for, the past 2 months,
okay.
and that's been fine, because I don't do, difficult routes. I just do it for the sense of accomplishment of climbing up the easiest wall there and getting to slap the top. But,
absolutely,
like an idiot, on Monday I was like, you know what? I'll bench press after I climb, too. And that did not go well. Oh. It went fine in the moment, but after the fact, I'm like, I can't touch my face. My arm doesn't bend that way anymore.
Mm-mm. Well, Dan, you're getting swole. I'm genuinely happy for you, because at first I thought you were going to say that buying a car put you into physical pain. So I'm glad it was from exercise and not from, shopping, I guess.
Hey, shop till you drop. Also joining us today from what I assume is not a bedroom in the Patterson household is Veronica Mickley. How are you, Veronica?
I am just dandy. Thank you for having me. Can confirm this is not the Patterson household.
What?
Well, disappointing, but okay.
Yeah. We'll allow it for now. If things get hairy, we might kick you out, and then it'll just be a sleepover.
Fair enough. You just let me know.
Oh, boy.
So, the movie that we're talking about today, you know what? I'm not going to do the introduction. Anna, this is a movie that is so near and dear to your heart that I can't do it justice.
Why am I not surprised Anna picked the movie?
I absolutely picked the movie. I'm really happy. It's I'll Be Home for Christmas, starring Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Jessica Biel, who is also great, but not as great as Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the love of my life. And also mostly starring his 90s haircut with the bleached. Oh, I'm just so excited, Dan. There's nothing more Anna to me than talking about how hot I think 1990s Jonathan Taylor Thomas is while being in my boyfriend's childhood home. There's nothing that really solidifies the deal more for me.
It is right up your alley.
Myself. And I'm so excited. I'm parched. We were watching the movie. I was acting like a little schoolgirl. It was so stupid. But anyway.
So, we're talking about I'll Be Home for Christmas. It came out on November 13th, 1998, directed by Arlene Sanford, whoever that is, starring, as Anna said,
thank you, Arlene,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Jessica Biel, and also Adam Lavorgna, Sean O'Brien, and Gary Cole.
Gary Cole, is he the one that's in Talladega Nights?
Yeah.
Everything else is a blur to me.
Yeah, he's the dad in this and the dad in Talladega Nights.
Yes.
Canonically, Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Will Ferrell are brothers.
Maybe they're the same person. Is there a chance, do we think, that Jake, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, grows up to be Ricky Bobby?
I mean, Isn't he kind of an asshole in both of them?
Oh, man. They're both movies I love, so I don't know. We could dive back into that wormhole another time, I guess.
So the movie cost $30 million to make. It made back a strong $12 million. Was not a hit. did not do well at the time.
How embarrassing. Oh, I love it, though.
It has a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Roger Ebert gave it 1 star. And I'm pulling up his review right now because it is a scathing review.
No. Oh, no. Okay, while you pull up the review, may I just say, it's incredibly dated. Like, it's so dated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the review would have come out at the time the movie was released, so even then it wasn't good.
Yeah, I know, but I think, like, maybe part of the reason why it wasn't good was because people would know it wouldn't hold up because it's so dated. I don't know. We'll find out. Dan, do you have the review?
I have the review. So he compares it to Pleasantville, which came out the same year, which is the Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon movie where they get sent back into like a 50s TV show. And that's a great movie.
Not Tobey Maguire. No.
And
not my Spider-Man.
So he says, I'll Be Home for Christmas takes place in the present, I guess, but it feels like a 1950s sitcom. The characters have much in common with the old, not new, Archie and Jughead comics. The soundtrack includes Gene Autry tunes, not selected for ironic purposes. It's the kind of movie that just misses a G rating and gets slapped with a PG for rudeness. And then,
I mean, it does say PG for rudeness in the Disney Plus corner.
It does, but it also, the next paragraph defines you, Anna.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Roast me, Dan.
Oh, it'll have its fans. The star is Jonathan Taylor Thomas from TV's Home Improvement,
yes, he is.
Who is an immensely likable actor. But even his easy grin seems to weary a little bit by the end stretches of the film, which is unrelentingly corny.
But that's what a good Christmas movie should be.
Right? Like, are we saying that we think maybe by the end he was like, oh, get me out of here. I just need this paycheck. Just cut the check, my dudes. Like,
hey, this was around the
JTT,
same time
that
he dropped out of Home Improvement, so he could be.
I was just going to say he dropped out of Home Improvement. I believe it was because he went to college to study environmental sciences.
That sounds about right.
He loves the environment. He's been a vegetarian since he was a child, and he has 2 cats.
Where does he live?
California.
Specifically.
He went to Harvard. What did you say?
I said specifically what's his address. We're going to mail him a cassette version of this episode.
You don't pretend you don't know, Anna.
I know he was born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I have his Wikipedia up right now.
Like
JTT, if you're listening, come visit me.
JTT,
and my
come
boyfriend
on the podcast.
and my boyfriend. I would pass away. I breathed in too hard. If he came on this podcast, Dan, I think I'd ascend. Like, he'd have to be the next new host because I don't think I'd be able to go on. I think I would just die. My life would be complete. I'd have nothing else.
You'd have nothing to live for.
Nothing else to do.
I met Jonathan
Nothing
Taylor
else to
Thomas.
live for. All my goals.
The end.
90s heartthrob, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
What was the cause
That's
of
my
death,
boy.
doctor? It was heartthrob. Not heartbreak, heartthrob.
It was heartthrob.
Of the
What a way
JTT
to go.
variety.
Amen.
This was the first time that I watched this.
Me too. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not
Okay,
the
good.
only one. Yeah.
Okay. And
Really?
I'm safe in assuming that Anna, this was not the first time you've seen this.
Yeah, can I interrupt for 1 second? I was wrong. I thought it was environmental sciences. I think that's what Randy goes to school for in Home Improvement. Jonathan Taylor Thomas went to Harvard to study philosophy and history. My bad. But then he studied abroad in Scotland.
Wow.
Okay, anyway, this was not my first time watching it. I watched it for the first time when I was in high school, I think. And then I watched it. I've watched it many, many times since then. Actually, last Christmas, I went to in the before times, I went to breakfast with Gage's family, and they had it playing on a TV in the background, and I was like, Be cool, Anna. Be cool. Don't be weird. I was weird the whole time. I was like, y'all, you see what's playing on the It's like everybody.
At least Gage's
Trying to eat my
family,
pancakes, but I'm getting all excited.
at least his family got to experience the real you.
Yeah.
Oh, they've experienced the real me in more ways than one, but yes, this is true.
I don't think
That
we have
sounded
time
weird.
to
That sounded
unpack
weird,
that.
but you know. I'm just a weird. Let's put it this way. I asked for a mushroom growing kit for Christmas this year, so I'm comfortable with them. They know how I am. I can't believe this was the first time for both of you, though. I'm shook.
Well, this is not one of the flop Christmas movies that have ascended into the ABC Family or TBS canon that they air every year. I hadn't even heard about this until I was working at the public library, and I had to put out all the Christmas movies for our display, and I was like, I recognize this sexy little young Simba. It gets the full face, not just the spine.
Amen. Give him the full face. You know it. You want to get that smirk? He's got his hand on his cheek, or his head on his hand. What? You know what I'm trying to say? He's resting his head. Like, oh boy. Like, you know, like, oh, will I be home for Christmas? Watch the movie and find out.
But
anyway,
as it was the first time I watched it, before we do the whole plot, I'll just say, I don't think it's good. I do not think this is a good movie.
Yeah, I want your immediate reactions. Veronica, can you offer something more positive?
I liked Allie. The whole time I was just sitting there and be like, Allie, you are better than both of these idiots. Why are you wasting your time with either of them?
We do stan Jessica Biel, okay? I'll say that much.
100%.
We stan. We love her. She's always a strong woman, you know, even from her times on Seventh Heaven when I used to watch her when I was... She's a strong woman. We love her. But wow, I'm surprised that you guys couldn't find some Christmas cheer in your hearts to like this movie.
I will say, when it started and they immediately showed California, I'm like, where is the snow? Every good Christmas movie needs snow. And there was snow in the end. So, you know, it came through there at least.
Yeah.
Don't worry. There was snow.
There's also snow about 30 minutes in, but I don't know if I can legally call it snow because it's more like quite possibly the worst overlaid CGI snow in history in the desert. When he's trying to hitchhike, the rain turns to snow. Yeah. The budget for CGI was not very high. I'll put it that way.
Could they have done any better? When did this come out? The 90s? I mean, that seemed...
1998.
Yeah, it seemed like solid 1998 CGI snow to me.
I mean, short of doing the Disney classic Snope, where you take soap and you, like, put it through it. You guys are looking both horrified, like you've never heard of this before.
I've heard of it. It's just terrifying.
Yeah, you cut up soap, and that's how they used to make snow in old movies and stuff, so it wouldn't melt under the lights. It's soap flakes.
I guess I've just never heard...
And Disney does it, too.
I've never heard it referred to as Snope before. That's a new one for me.
Snope.
Unless you're talking about The Wizard of Oz. They didn't use Snope for that. That was just asbestos.
No, don't worry. I'm familiar with the dangers that are The Wizard of Oz and the creation of that film. Oh, God. Things were crazy back then.
So let's get into the movie. It starts off at what I think is college or maybe a boarding school.
Dan, I've seen this movie a million times, and I still am unclear. I'm not going to lie to you. Gage and I even said that today to each other, because there's a locker. Like, there's lockers.
There's a row of lockers and a nerd's locked in them.
It's literally my first note. Like, they call it a college, but there are lockers, there are braces. None of these kids look old enough to be in college.
No, and like there's bullies. Like in college, there weren't really bullies that would like lock you in a locker or anything like that.
I don't know, Anna. Sounds like something the bully would say.
True. You know me. putting kids in lockers.
So, at this college, the little big man on campus.
Oh my gosh.
Good Lord,
Sorry.
are you dying?
I'm choking on my own spit. Just continue on.
Okay. The little
Continue on.
the little big man on campus, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, playing the role of very helpfully Jake. So I'm just gonna call him John because I don't care. Characters don't exist.
Just call him JTT.
They both start with a
know.
J.
Yeah. So he has basically has this nerd that does his bidding in exchange for friendship. Who he
His lackey.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be his roommate, right?
probably. But he has to take him out of the locker that he's locked in, and we see him being all JTT, that wry, sarcastic smile that he has.
Suave.
It's a selling
Sensual.
point for Anna.
It is. Anna, open your eyes back up. Stop.
Did you see the? Sorry, I was thinking about him. I was thinking about JTT. My bad. Sorry.
So
Whew,
JTT,
it's a little hot in here.
go get a hold of yourself, woman. You're an adult.
Yes.
JTT, he has a kind of a girlfriend on campus, Jessica Biel of previously Seventh
Yes.
Heaven, now Justin Timberlake fame.
Oh, love Seventh Heaven. Seventh Heaven. Anyway, you guys didn't watch Seventh Heaven growing up?
No.
Mm-mm.
I watched Law and Order. That was the big show in my house.
Well, we had very different upbringings. No, but she played a basketball player on that show, and they were all, raised by a preacher who, in real life, was a creep. But that's besides the point. The mom was in the original Child's Play movie.
Was she Chucky?
No, she was the mom in Child's Play.
Ah, Chuckette.
Yeah, Chuckette. I don't know that there's anybody else who got famous. Well, I think Beverly, whatever her last name is.
D'Angelo?
Beverly. No. She was Mary. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Jessica Biel is like always the taller, sporty girl.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in her younger days, because she's definitely the taller, sporty girl in this movie.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Side note, I have one thing to say to embarrass myself a little further. In this opening sequence, when JTT climbs into bed with Jessica Biel and like puts her arm over him and just like they're laying together next to each other, I go, oh, and Gage goes, "You wish." And I was like, no, stop. I was like, how embarrassing.
So
Anyway.
yeah, JTT, his dad has got him a plane ticket to come home for Christmas, but he has unleashed his nerd upon the power of the 1998 internet to exchange that ticket for 2 tickets to Cabo San Luca, baby.
Which seems like it would be a more expensive ticket.
Right?
Don't you think that would have charged his dad's credit card?
I mean, technically, I think New York is farther away from California than Cabo is, so maybe, the
I
shorter
guess.
distance
Yeah,
makes
I
up
don't
for
know.
it.
I guess.
I'm guessing based off of the father's bribe to get him to come home and also the state of their house, I don't think he would notice that, in quotes, small of a charge on his credit card.
Oh God, the fact that you just called that small is giving me heart palpitations.
Oh,
like,
it hurts me too, but he definitely he goes through a watch a day.
oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas in this movie is the definition of a spoiled little rich kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, definition.
So Jessica Biel is not happy with that trade. She's like, I want to go home for Christmas. I want to see the snow, because they're both from West Farhampton, New York, or whatever it's called.
Yep. That's it.
Right? I did look it up. It's right next to New Rochelle, where the Dick Van Dyke Show is set. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's all coming together now. I don't know
Dan's
how.
only frame of reference.
Yeah, my only frame of reference is shows that ended before 1964.
Lord above. Except now you're watching Home Improvement, and I'm so excited.
You say now I'm watching, it's just on right before, like right when I'm eating, and I don't want to put effort into choosing something to watch. Because it goes that and then How I Met Your Mother right after each other. Laugh TV, great.
I would only watch Home Improvement. As soon as How I Met Your Mother came on, I'd turn it off.
How dare you? How dare you?
Sorry, everyone. Gotta get my Home Improvement fix.
Not only is Jessica Biel upset with this trade-off, but also Gary Cole, Jonathan Father Thomas, is upset too because he wants him to come home for Christmas. And in fact, he bribes JTT into coming home for Christmas, saying, hey, if you make it home by Christmas Eve dinner, I will give you a 1957 Porsche. That's probably
it's
$100,000 car. You can have it.
Well, they did say that they like rebuilt it together, but I'm sure it was not cheap to like come across all those parts because I'm sure there was. We already know, Dan, and I don't know a lot about cars. Veronica, I'm not going to speak for you. I don't know what your car expertise is.
Nothing.
Okay, perfect. I have a hunch that hunting down specialty parts for a specific car like that, especially like a specialty luxury car, would be expensive. I feel like rebuilding cars in general is an expensive hobby, unless you're like friends with a junkyard person, you know?
You can't call them junkyard people, Anna, anymore. It's 2020.
I don't know. A garbage man? You know, the people who run the junkyard. I don't know what it's called. Sorry to all the junk people I offended.
So, hearing this, JTT basically gets cartoon eyes, like, auga, auga, and he's like, I will be there. But stopping him are basically 3 high school bullies in college that he is giving the answers to their history final to on their pager, on their beeper, because of course.
On their pagers! See what I mean? The movie's a little bit dated. Like, just a little bit. Just a little bit dated.
Jessica Biel has a Smash Mouth poster on her dorm wall.
Dan, I was hoping somebody would mention it. I didn't want it to be me, but I'm glad you mentioned it. She does indeed have a Smash Mouth poster.
And her basketball playing feral roommate has a Los Angeles Sparks poster. And I was like, hell yeah. That was the first thing I noticed.
Back to the 90s.
I would like to say the roommate, all she needed was to be given some chocolate and she would like went on her way. And I related to that on like a very deep spiritual level.
Oh,
absolutely.
Absolutely. I also I also related to that. Honestly, I feel like any sort of food presented to someone, you can most of the time get them to do whatever you want them to.
Well, that was also the point where I was like, oh, so maybe this is college. College kids will do anything for free food.
Yeah. Unclear. The children look so young, and I'm not trying to be rude. You know, I love a short man, but I genuinely think they had to choose younger actors because they needed them to be around the same height, if not shorter than Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who is 5'5".
So JTT, apparently the answers that his lackey nerd gave to the jocks was not good enough or something.
No, the pagers died. The pagers did not survive the test.
I mean, again, another reason why I would never have done this. I would have been too nervous. I would have at least looked over my notes once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have had the nerd. I don't know his name. He doesn't exist as a real person.
Yeah, just nerd.
Have them write it out beforehand and have them like stick it in their lap while they're taking the test. I'm not saying that I've ever done that, but you know, maybe that would be a good idea.
I'm not saying I ever cheated either. And friends who are listening, if you're still in school, don't follow these ideas. We're not responsible. But, like, you know, why didn't they do the old write it on the inside of the water bottle test, you know? I mean, I know teachers are hip to that now because clear your entire desk off. But, you know, back in the day, you could keep the old Ice Mountain on your desk. Mm-hmm. And not that I ever did this. I didn't. I was a good girl. You could have your notes written right inside and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You're cheating.
I mean, the teacher was fine with them having their pagers out in the middle of the test. She would absolutely have no problem with water bottles.
True. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who I did not like, who did not even want us to have watches on during tests because they beeped. And one time when I was in class wearing it, we weren't even taking a test, but my watch started beeping, and I was like, I don't know what it's set to. I can't get it to turn off. And he, like, begrudgingly took my watch and, like, fixed it for me during the class. We did not get along. He thought I was stupid, and I thought he was stupid, and it was really a great time for everybody. Anyway.
So I'm going to move right past that.
Move on past, Dan. Move on past. There are more important things to talk about.
So later at a party, JTT is confronted by Snap, Crackle, and Pop, the basketball players.
No! Damn. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's them.
And they attempt to murder him. They try to kill him. It's definitely, if it occurred, that's at least murder 2. Maybe murder 1. We don't know how long they planned
it. Premeditated.
That's murder 1.
Yeah, they probably started planning it as soon as the pagers died. Therefore, premeditated. Premeditated Santaing.
Maybe man. No, it's not. It wouldn't be man 1 because it's technically not man. I'm sorry. Law and Order is coming back to me in.
I hear that.
Vivid flashes. So how do they try to murder him? Somehow they glue a Santa suit onto him, and throw him in the California desert.
Glue is an irritant. Like, that could, if they use super glue, like, they could have really effed him up, you know? I got a little super glue on my finger the other day, and I had to immediately submerge it in water. Or, per instructions, I was supposed to call my doctor, but I didn't because it was midnight. I was crafting at night.
Crafting
but, you know, that could
dark.
be really... That's me. I was making a Christmas wreath. They really could have damaged his beautiful, supple baby skin. You know what I mean?
Right? Well, they probably just used spirit gum. We all know in 1998, all the bully jocks had that in plentiful supply.
Yep. They were like, he's got to get that spirit gum remover. You know he's not going to have time to run to a Ben Nye store. Lord.
So JTT was supposed to drive Jessica Biel across country for Christmas. But because he's currently dying, he's not able to do that, which means that Jessica Biel has to hitch a ride with the greatest character ever created in the history of cinema, maybe? Definitely top 5. He's right up there with, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another character from cinema, the Wicked Witch. John Wayne. The Ed Man.
Oh my god. This guy is just trying to get in her pants, you know? And I think that he only wants her because Jake, or Jonathan Taylor Thomas, has her. And as soon as he got her, he wouldn't be interested anymore because he wasn't thwarting anybody, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Kind of
She's the...
Yeah.
This is going to sound like a really bad metaphor, but she's the bumper that the dog is chasing after.
Yeah, it's the 90s, Dan. You're absolutely correct. That was probably what they were going for. I don't know. He rubs me wrong the whole movie. I'm like, ugh. And like,
don't let him rub you wrong. That's what he's trying to do.
He's trying to rub you. You know what I mean? Oh, get your nasty hands away from me. I belong to Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
So the Ed Man, it's not Milo Ventimiglia, the guy from This Is Us, though I really think that it is. He looks shockingly like him. I think. I've seen one episode of This Is Us, but I saw the trailer for The Art of Racing in the Rain about 40 times. It's actually, what's this actor's name? He is Adam Lavorgna.
Oh.
Who was Robbie Palmer on Seventh Heaven.
Anna, how did you not know this already?
It's been a little while since I last watched some Seventh Heaven, but Wowie zowie. They really said, hello, Seventh Heaven, we need your whole cast. Except not the dad, he's creepy.
And he has a very Seventh Heaven, personal life. I'm on his Wikipedia page, and the only thing under his personal life tab is Livornia said he was raised in Catholicism by his grandmother, but became distant from the faith with age.
No.
I got away from the church at 15 or 16, and by my mid-20s, I was lost. Of returning to the faith, Livornia said. Once I matured enough to face God, to look at him, for him to be proud, once I started doing that, my life turned around. It was slow, but on a steady incline.
This really do be our religious episode, huh?
That's just the plot of an episode of Seventh Heaven. Am I wrong?
It is. Oh my god. No, you're not wrong. Like, that's the plot of most episodes of Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Except not the Valentine's Day episode where they made everybody sing. It was bad.
Yikes.
I'll send you that link later.
Don't want it.
Too late.
So, back to the desert. JTT has a fun conversation with a... What's the name of that bird? It's not
a vulture?
A vulture. Who's
right? Isn't it
a vulture? Yeah,
it's
a vulture who he expositizes to until the vulture goes to have sex with another vulture.
Ew.
That's what's happening.
I don't like that. This is a for rudeness. PG for rudeness. You're right.
So then what's nice is that the bullies dropped him off like across the street from a gas station that's got a phone and everything. So it's like, hey, maybe it wasn't premeditated murder.
I don't think they wanted him to die. I think they just wanted him to suffer, which is still pretty bad. You know what I mean? But still.
That's like the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Correct.
The best Joker.
How dare you? This podcast is over.
So he goes to the store to try and call Jessica Biel, but she doesn't answer. So he has to just yell, desert, scarecrow, tornado, Santa suit, something, La Bamba.
Nailed it.
Thank you. I definitely watched this movie today. And then he has to hitchhike his way across the country. And if you're JTT, he's too pretty to do that.
He is. He would have gotten snatched up by a creep in no time. You know he would have.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not what happened, though? Like, he did.
No, I know, but like in real life, he would have been snatched up by like a real creep. You know what I mean? But anyway.
No, but in the film, he was snatched up by the biddies going to a Tom Jones concert.
Honestly, I would have been in that car. I'm the biddies. Tag yourself. And doesn't he throw up while he's in there?
He does, yeah. But when the car, because I think he's hungover. I think that's the insinuation.
Or he's just car sick. I know riding in the middle like that makes me car sick.
I thought he was like disgusted by having to hold the dentures.
Oh yeah, it might be a combination of the three, but
like frankly, that would do it for me.
There's a lot going on. I'm almost 100% certain that car was hot. Like I looked at that car and I was like, the heat is on and it's already like 80 degrees out.
Weren't there like pickles involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some smells too.
Yeah, it all really came together.
Me, I also did not watch this show today. But yeah, it's just a recipe for disaster. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for barf.
But when the car pulled up at the gas station, I was like, ooh, that's a pretty car. I know nothing about cars. My body and my hairline are built for 1957, so I'm like drawn to all of that. Drink your milk, kids. So
thank you, Dan.
The biddies, disgusted by JTT's throw up, kick him out of the car, and he goes to hitchhike. Well, he is going to go to hitchhike, but across the road from him, somehow, is not Milo and Jessica Biel stopping at a fruit stand.
Now, okay, I know he's on the highway, but wouldn't you think if you saw them right away, I would think, if I saw them right away, it's a busy highway, but if you could Frogger it, wouldn't you try?
Yeah, and he eventually
in a
he
movie,
does that.
not in real life.
Yeah.
Don't do that, kids. Don't do that, kids.
But also
Well,
maybe
I mean-
like try yelling her name. Like
Yeah,
he like
exactly.
whispered
True.
it to himself like 10 times. I'm like maybe a little louder and she'd actually hear ya, kid.
True. And I know he does it eventually, but like I feel like that would be the move, you know. Running, screaming. In 2020 it would be shooting a text like
In 2020, it'd be recording a TikTok and sending it to them.
yeah, or doing the renegade across the way and then sending it to them quick.
So he eventually he does try to do the Frogger across the highway after what feels like 45 minutes of him staring at them from across the road, as Anna said. But unfortunately, Milo sees this and he
Drives away.
He just drives away.
So rude. Again, so stinking rude. Like, I get it, Mr. Steal Your Girl, literally stealing your girl. But I don't know. At what point does one go from being a bully to just being a terrible person? I guess those are the same thing. I don't know. I feel like there was a line crossed from regular school bully to something else at this point.
But did he not cross that line like when he dumped him in the desert in the first place?
Well, he didn't do that though. It was the guys. Oh, I guess.
Yeah,
I
it was
guess
Hard
you're
Rock
right.
Coco and Joe who dumped him in the desert.
Oh, was he not part of their crew?
No,
I kind of just assumed he like felt like he was one of them, you know? I got that vibe from him.
He probably is their friend outside of the film, you know, outside in this cinematic world. They probably are friends, but I don't think he was involved with that specifically. Thank you. Can't wait to write my thesis paper on this movie.
Anna's going to get a master's in film, all based around I'll Be Home for Christmas, in film theory.
The golden rule, treat others as you would want to be treated, based solely off of the characters in I'll Be Home for Christmas. I don't really know how that's going to tie in as a thesis yet, but it's you know, we're working on it.
So, as he is trying to hitchhike back, he's standing on the side of the road. There's snow now. I don't know how he got all the way to snow, but that's a walk.
Magic of Christmas, Dan.
I know.
It's the magic of Christmas.
But
and film.
It's soap.
Snope.
As he's trying to hitchhike, a car being driven by who I assume is the missing wet bandit from Home Alone. Well, he's reaching the driver. Is his name Eddie? Is it Fast Eddie? I don't remember what his name was.
I don't remember.
It was...
I'm not going to lie, since I've seen this movie before, I was doing other things while watching it.
Anna, how dare you not give it your full and undivided attention?
I'm sorry, it was a busy week, and I've seen it before. It was just a brush up, you know.
Disappointed in you.
I was paying attention to all the scenes that mostly focused on Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I was like, zoom in, eyes, zoom in, enhance image. Yeah.
His name is Nolan. In case you were wondering.
Yeah, definitely didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Nolan dropped his hamburger and is reaching down on the ground to pick up his hamburger. And as he does
God.
he starts basically driving directly towards JTT on the shoulder of the highway. And JTT obviously did not go to the school of X and Y axis. He stays on one straight line the entire time. Until Nolan almost hits him with the car. I think he doesn't. It's not clear.
How just does he end up like down the ditch though? I thought Nolan pushed him into the ditch.
I thought he just fell.
Dove over.
Yeah, like threw himself down there to get out of the way.
All right, I'll allow it.
Okay, I guess I understand why maybe this movie's not so great. There are a lot of things that are unclear, but I still like it. Okay.
But this also begs the question, because Nolan thinks that he's killed JTT. If Nolan puts on the suit, does he get the Porsche if he makes it home by Christmas Eve? Is it like the Santa Claus rules?
He turns into Jonathan Taylor Thomas every year around this time.
He starts growing frosted tips and shrinking.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So, out of some sense of duty, I guess, Nolan takes JTT and will drive him home. But they get pulled over by a cop. Oh no. Why does that happen? Because they were speeding. They were going 78 on a 65. And I wrote a note saying all highway speed limits should be 80.
Whoa, Dan.
Absolutely.
Dan.
I was driving.
My note about that, I was like, that's not even that bad.
I know, right?
No, I've definitely gotten pulled over for worse, and my mom is probably going to yell at me again for that ticket I got multiple years ago just because I mentioned it.
Wait, what?
But like,
no, I need the context for that.
I was going 90.
Speed demon.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it was not good. I got yelled at by my parents and scolded by my, at the time, boyfriend's parents as well for not driving safely. It was ugly. Anyway.
I was driving back from Illinois today, and if I went below 80, I was upset. I was so mad.
The drive back from anywhere in Illinois to Wisconsin is just painful.
It's true, it is.
Just painful.
The drive out, wonderful, fantastic. When you cross that state line and everybody just starts going 95, it is the dream.
No, God, we almost got into like 4 accidents today just because people were driving so reckless down here. You Illinois people.
Listen, every time I cross the Wisconsin border, everyone just somehow slowed down. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Me.
Why? How do you live like this?
We've all gotten tickets for going 90 through Janesville. We can't do it again.
So the cop the way that they get out of a speeding ticket is that JTT lies and says that they're going to deliver gifts to the sick children at the children's hospital.
Oh, God.
Which is, of course you're going to get karmic justice for that lie. That's way too saccharine of a lie.
It's not beyond Jonathan Taylor Thomas's character. He's so
terrible,
smarmy, and terrible, and he's, like I said, he's a spoiled little rich kid. He'll do and say, he's a compulsive liar who will do and say anything he can to get what he wants. Mm-hmm. Like, this movie is about a person who is selfish.
Yes.
Christmas spirit.
It's about what
and plus,
you can
aren't
get.
These all
the spirit of
aren't
getting.
these items? Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Aren't these items all stolen too?
Yes, they're all hot.
Yeah,
like microwaves and stuff.
Yeah, like yeah.
I love when he finally gives that microwave to the little girl. She was like genuinely excited about it. I was so happy for her. She was just out there living her best life. Besides the fact that she was in a hospital. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, all children deserve to be happy on Christmas, even if they.
Oh God.
Veronica, I'm so sorry. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you. No, but like
this kid in the
Christmas,
children's hospital living their best life. They just got a microwave, baby.
Amen. Can't wait to make some Easy Mac.
I know you wanted an easy bake oven for Christmas, Sandy. Well, I've got you the next best thing. 1500 BTU Sunrise microwave oven. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty dang good to me.
Anyway.
This baby right here can pop some popcorn, I'll tell you that much.
Also, it's terminal. But anyway, the microwave.
God. Oh, God.
Well, speaking of the children's hospital, they're giving out the gifts to all the kids, and the last kid who shows up, they try to give him his gift, which is like a vacuum cleaner or something. Kid turns it down. Balls of steel. Big fan of him. And he's like, well, what do you want for Christmas? And he just wants to go home for Christmas. He wants to see his mom, his dad. He just starts listing off people. It is so sad. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, the two things in movies that get me feeling choked up is old people and children. And when it's a
Dan,
kid
why
being
are we
sick,
the opposite?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're like, let him die. They're not in the prime
Hit
yet.
him with the car. Give him the microwave. God. They're in a movie. It doesn't matter. It's not real life. They're not really sick. If it was a real sick kid, I'd be like, oh, but they're not really sick. You can't fool me. You can't get it past me. I'm an actress.
Anyway. Why did you put the emphasis on Tris?
You know, like actor, but I'm not an actor. I'm an actress. I'm an actress. I don't know. I'm a girl.
Okay.
You are a woman, Anna, and don't let anyone tell you different.
Thank you, Veronica. I do not feel adult enough to call myself a woman 99% of the time.
So JTT and Nolan and also the cop that pulled him over, they all have like a come to Jesus moment hearing this kid say that he wants to be home for Christmas. And they all
How could you not?
I know. They all call their significant others, or not significant others, family. JTT calls home, where this is where he talks to his stepmom, right?
Yeah, Caroline. It's like hinted at the beginning, but you understand, like, as the movie goes on, that their relationship is strained, because I think his mother died, and later on you find out he thinks his dad moved on too fast.
Yeah.
Which,
10 months
I
is
get
too
it.
fast. Connor is not allowed to move that. I would be pissed if that was me, if I were the dead wife.
I already told Gage that if he ever like starts dating somebody else after we break up, oh my god, after I die, I'd haunt him. I would absolutely haunt him.
Would you haunt him?
And I'd haunt the girl too.
Would you haunt him after you broke up also? Like,
yeah, I'm just gonna be in the closet making ghost noises, hiding. Ooh, like, yeah. No, I would absolutely haunt the crap out of Gage, and I'd be like, why didn't you wait longer? Were you trying to kill me? Ooh.
4 months, that's all I get. What the hell, man?
Oh, God. Oh, God. The soil on my grave had barely sprouted new grass. Ooh. It's getting too real now. Anyway.
So they have a heart-to-heart, which is good. You get some character development. That's nice.
And I feel like Caroline, obviously, she genuinely loves him and cares about him and wants him to be happy.
Yeah. Like,
she's not a bad stepmom, but he just has her painted in such a negative light over something that's completely not her fault, you know? But
and the officer, he is trying to get back together with his now estranged wife because he was caught cheating, and she ain't having none of that.
One of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Well, I wasn't really paying attention during it, so do you want to explain what happened? I was on Twitter.
I mean, long and short of it, I'll yada yada a little bit, but she works at a restaurant, and so the next leg of JTT's journey, he goes with the cop to this restaurant where his wife works, and he tries to help get her back by relaying all the information, like, and things to her until, if I remember correctly, the cop just kind of comes in and, like, professes to her, and he's just kind of there, and she agrees to come back eventually, like it's a Christmas miracle.
You missed the best part. You missed him serenading her.
Yeah.
You don't need talent when you've got heart. That's what I took away from
Sorry. My bad. Yes, there is some serenading involved, and yeah, it's a good scene. I don't know. I'm not good at explaining this kind of stuff, but it's just, there's a lot that happens. It's very over the top, and it is very cute.
Listen, I just want to say the singing starts with JTT like feeding him the lyrics, like literally scribbling and ripping off his notepad. But once this cop goes rogue and starts freestyling, like that's like truly his star moment.
I mean, what can I say? JTT or Cupid, you know what I mean? Like, he's out there. All he was tasked with was getting the wife back, and he more than does it, you know? What seemed impossible was no longer impossible thanks to the help of one Mr. Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Nothing's impossible, that I promise. All you need is Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, I loved that. That was everything to me.
Concurrently, as the officer is serenading his estranged spouse, Jessica Biel and Eddie they're driving, and she starts. They're chatting, they're talking, and she starts like talking about like her wonders and like her philosophical thoughts, and he's like, "Yeah."
They get deep.
They get really deep. She's by far the most realistic character in the movie.
Yeah, can I just say, I feel like, I know, like, we're supposed, and I love Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and I love this movie, but I don't enjoy it for its realism. I enjoy it because it's stupid. I feel like if I'm going to dive into their relationship, I feel like she and JTT never have conversations like this, like, ever. Mm-hmm. And I feel like maybe this is exciting for her because, like, I feel like she's known him since they grew up in the same town. Like, they're from the same place.
Right, they have to be, like, high school sweethearts, right? I feel like they never really touched on that. It always kind of seemed like it was a new relationship, and I'm like, you grew up together. Like, how new can it really be?
Yeah. Like, even if you just grew up as, like, family friends and you started dating when you were older, you would know, like, that person's goals and, like what they want to be when they grow up, what they're interested in. Like, I feel like maybe he only cares about himself and, like, doesn't really... And, I mean, we see the growth at the end of the movie, but... I feel like he didn't really, if we were to dive into their relationship, I feel like he would never really be asking her, because he doesn't even ask her if she wants to go home for Christmas or if she wants to go to Cabo. He just assumes. And TBH, I would want to go home for Christmas. Like, I would want to be with family. I don't know that when I was that age, I would have wanted to, like, maybe one day I'll want to go on vacation over Christmas, but right now, no, probably not. And if Gage just randomly bought 2 tickets to go on vacation over Christmas, I'd be like, oh, it's a week ahead of time. I was not planning for this. This is very last minute, and I'm kind of overwhelmed. Why didn't you talk to me about this? You know, like, so I get it, and I feel I'm rambling. Sorry, but yeah, like it's funny because you see she's kind of getting along with the other guy, and it's like, is JTT losing her because she's spending literally a 24-hour drive with this other guy? But we'll find out.
Yeah, she is getting Stockholm syndromed into
pretty much
liking the other guy. So much so that they go to stay the night at a Bavarian Village hotel, which...
Oh, I love this part too. It's cute.
It's cute. They get the honeymoon suite because it's the only room left.
Yikes.
And while JTT is in the bus station waiting for his bus that goes nonstop from Iowa to New York, that's a little suspicious.
Sus.
That's a little sus. He's looking at the TV, and there's a news reporter, and he sees the Ed Man and Jessica Biel macking on the news.
I don't think so, Tim. I don't think so, Tim.
Who's Tim?
You clearly haven't watched enough Home Improvement. Report back when you have.
I didn't know if that was a Home Improvement reference or if there was another character in the movie that I didn't notice.
No, like, my whole family, my whole life, whenever we don't, like, we're just people that say, I don't think so, Tim, which is something that I have imprinted upon Gage, and I'm very pleased with. So now, whenever he's like, I don't know about that, he's like, I don't think so, Tim. I said that to Gage once while I was at his parents' house, and I swear to you, I said it in front of his mom, and his mom was like, who's Tim? Like, I think she thought I was calling him the wrong name. And I was like, Tim Allen? Like, Home Improvement? Al Borland?
Did you just start naming, like, a bunch of random facts about Home Improvement? Detroit?
Yeah.
The Lions?
Wearing college sweatshirts that were mailed to the set by various colleges in Michigan?
Anyway, welcome to our Home Improvement podcast.
I wish.
This old house. So, JTT, he can't miss the bus. He gets on the bus to go to New York. But as he's riding the bus, he tries to convince the world's largest asshole of a bus driver, who is a stickler for making sure people stay behind the line. Probably be a great COVID enforcer, though.
Yeah, true. We need him today.
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah, so JTT, he needs to convince the bus driver to pull over at the Bavarian Village so that he can to use Jessica Biel's lingo, slug the Ed Man.
Well, he's gonna, drop off organs for a child.
Yeah, that's the lie that he comes up. He sees this dude pull a sandwich out of his cooler, and then he takes the cooler, makes a liver.
I'd be like, my dude, that's my cooler, sir.
Yeah.
Like, please don't take my things.
And then convinces the bus driver that they need to go for this liver transplant.
With the signs, like, made with crayons. I'm like, how do any of these people buy any of this? It's just a bus full of idiots. I don't know what to tell you.
Movie logic. All adults are dumb.
I don't think it's just the adults in this.
Fine. Movie logic. Everyone is dumb.
So he ends up getting into the Bavarian village. And he ends up going to the hotel where they're at, and going into the hotel room where Eddie, having just taken a shower, his lithe body is only wearing a towel, and
Ew,
he is
Dan, I hate
trim.
it. He is very fit. Like, let's not beat around the bush. That's a nice looking man.
He is.
Mm-hmm. Not as nice as JTT, though.
Veronica, you look really uncomfortable right now.
Look, the only thing I thought of during this scene, when JTT, like, rips Eddie's towel off, thinking he's gonna, like, embarrass him or something, I'm like, that's a real questionable move on your part. What if Allie likes what she sees there?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh, Veronica asking the real questions. Yeah, what if she's like, hey man, this guy hasn't been half bad. My boyfriend's being a real jerkerino. I'm liking it.
I'm just saying, big risk on JTT's part.
True.
It is a big risk. He tries to rip off the towel because he assumes that Jake and Allie have,
consummated the drive.
I was trying to come up with a Christmas pun. Assumed that Allie allowed the Edman's
Santa to slide down her chimney.
I was going to say the Edman's Rudolph to guide his sleigh tonight. That doesn't really work.
To drop his gifts down her chimney. Something Christmassy that means doing it.
Yeah. So and eventually JTT and Allie, they make up for a second until he says that he needs to be home by 6 for the car, and she's like, "You only care about the car. You don't care about me," which is
accurate.
Yeah.
Why would he even mention the car?
I have no idea, because he's an idiot.
Like, what would possess... I mean, like... I don't know, that's just a stupid move.
He's a stupid guy.
Yeah.
True that. True that.
So she takes his bus ticket and takes the bus back to New York, leaving JTT with the Ed Man.
Because they deserve each other. Isn't that what she says? They're perfect
They're both
for each
slime
other.
balls.
And they start becoming friends.
They're both trying to get into her pants.
They also start becoming friends when they start talking to each other, because that makes total sense.
Because they're both kind of losers.
Yeah. The Wikipedia page, it says, Eddie suddenly becomes jealous, realizing Jake will get Allie and the Porsche if he makes it home.
What does he think he's gonna get the Porsche if he makes it home? Like,
it's not
actually,
like it's
I think
Eddie's
exact words are, he can't do that much good. He would be too nice to drive JTT all the way home. It just wouldn't sit right with him.
Yeah.
God forbid he do a good deed, Yep, Christmas, of all
these
things.
really
How dare
must be
he?
high schoolers. These really must be high schoolers, because I think a college kid could put that aside. Like, I mean, maybe it's just me holding out hope that, like,
People are good.
okay, if I drive Jake home, yeah, and, like, Jake wouldn't be a jerk just because he has this fancy new car, and also the I'm assuming, prettiest girl on campus, and blah, 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 but beauty's in the eye of the beholder, both for cars and for other people, so I don't know. Whatever. That's just me.
I would say the second prettiest girl on campus, the feral basketball player, still has the top spot in my heart.
She's got your heart? Yeah.
She's bitten
Yeah.
my heart. It's made of chocolate.
Oh, is your heart made of chocolate? Yep.
So Eddie throws JTT out in the middle of not Wisconsin. They say it's Wisconsin. It's not Wisconsin. I would have been there if it was Wisconsin.
I know, but they say it's Wisconsin, and therefore I get really excited.
But how does
they
it make
say-
sense if you're trying to go from Iowa to New York? Why would you go through Wisconsin?
You wouldn't, but Wisconsin's a fun state. Okay?
Is it, Anna?
People like to make fun of us a lot. I'll never understand why, but they do.
You have good
Am I
cheese
wrong?
curds, I'll give you that.
Thank you. I had some of them today because we stopped at the Mars Cheese Castle on our way down here.
You'll never understand why people like to make fun of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I don't get what's so funny about us, but okay. I'm dead serious. I don't. I'm not trying to be like dumb. Like, what? Name one thing that's funny about us, and I'll see if I laugh.
The state is based around exclusively beer and cheese and the Packers.
We have a high German population as well as a lot of dairy farms. I don't see what is so humorous about our culture, our rich cultural history.
Oh, is that what it is?
The state religion is the Green Bay Packers.
Amen. God, family, and the Green Bay Packers, okay? In that order. Vince Lombardi, thank you.
And there you have it.
The Lombardi Trophy is named after our coach. Don't come for me.
Our coach. Did you play?
Yes, I'm a quarterback. Do you not refer to your sports teams as our?
No.
Veronica, I know you're a hockey fan.
I don't think I
You don't
ever.
say
I don't say our they're the Blackhawks, not
Yeah.
our Blackhawks.
well, I'm a partial owner of the Green Bay Packers, so they are, in fact, my Green Bay Packers. Thank you very much. I'm an owner. Put some respect on my name, okay?
Okay, so in this fake Wisconsin town, there is a Santa Claus fun run, and whoever the winner of it gets $1,000.
It looks really fun, if I'm being honest.
I would run for $1,000.
I'd
Yeah.
run just for like a little fun. I would not try to win because I know I wouldn't. I'd kill myself trying to win.
Well, you
But,
have
like-
to be wearing your hat and beard to win, which of course falls off near the end of the race for JTT because he's gonna win.
Well, he'd already lost his way back in the beginning, so he like has to quick scamper and find something new.
They give it to
They
him
won't
at the
let him
check-in.
run. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's already got his actual outfit because he, it's glued onto his body.
imagine how musty it is.
It probably smells foul. Like,
I will
I'm not gonna
say,
imagine it.
I appreciate the fact that his suit did get like dirtier as the movie progressed. I'm like, look
Yes.
at this
Yeah.
costume continuity. I'm here for it.
Yes, we do love a good costume team. But going back to the smell, like, not to be gross, it probably smells foul. He probably smells like he rolled out of literally my armpits in the morning. I just imagine that I would not want to get near him with a 10-foot pole. Thank you.
That's a first.
I know. Well, I'll bring some like Axe body spray along. Give him the old 7th grade shower. He'll be fine.
So JTT ends up winning the race, and Eddie gets arrested by cops.
Well,
I'm reading the Wikipedia page again. Eddie is arrested after insulting (parentheses) and possibly doing more to 2 officers. What are you insinuating, wiki
Assault?
author?
assault?
Did you pee on the cops?
Probably. He probably, said some naughty words. Maybe he threw a
He was
punch.
rude. He turned it from G to
He was
PG.
rude.
That's it.
PG for rudeness.
And JTT barely beats another guy in
The
the
ma-
race,
oh,
who
sorry.
ends up being the mayor.
I was spoiling. I forgot.
Way to go,
Yes,
Anna.
well, how dare you?
My bad.
How dare you? I was 3 words from that.
Sorry.
And as he's taking a cab to the airport, the Madison airport, they specifically say. So this town is most likely in Dane County.
Boo. Hiss. Why not Milwaukee County? Dane County is even further away from the way you would go to get to New York than it is to Milwaukee County.
Just all of Wisconsin is out of the way.
Yeah, it's out of the way. They should be going through the better state, Illinois.
Correct.
That flat-footer state, I don't think so. Flatlanders.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that Wisconsin was the arched foot state.
We are proud of our high arches.
He's told by the cab driver that the mayor always donates the winnings from the race to get food for the poor because of
hit him with the old 1-2 ethos.
Yeah. So of course, for the first time feeling something called empathy, JTT donates the money back to the mayor.
The Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes that day.
Still, JTT needs to get home. So he calls his sister, and his sister arranges a flight from Madison to New York.
Yet another time when Daddy's money is flying off the card and nobody says a word. Nobody questions it. His dad doesn't go, hey, what are these what is this large charge you made to my credit card? Sir and madam, can we please discuss this, my children? Like, wasn't me, wasn't Caroline, must have been one of you two dummies, like.
It was the ghost of the mom.
Oh, God, she was like, you gonna cheat on me after I died? I'm gonna buy stuff. Me as a ghost. Me as a ghost.
So she buys him a ticket, but because he doesn't have an ID, he has to sneak onto the plane. So he stays in a dog kennel for what is a 2-hour flight.
Also, a waste of a ticket. The sister goes to all the trouble of buying him a ticket that he doesn't even use. Ungrateful.
And also, it's 1998, so he could go straight to the gate at this point. He wouldn't be stopped by security. You don't need a ticket to go all the way up there. You could so easily sneak onto the plane then.
Yeah, right.
Just do the old Home Alone, bump into the gate agent, and boom, you're lost in New York.
I mean, he's not a cute little kid, though. He's a cute teenager, and we all know teenagers are not to be trusted. Say it with me. Teens are not to be trusted.
They're not to be trusted. I was trying to say it with you.
Teenagers scare the living beep out of me. Raise your hand if you were singing along with My Chemical Romance because you burned your tongue and you were feeling emo about it. Ooh, it's me. I was raising my hand.
I think My Chemical Romance was my second most listened to artist, according to Spotify.
They were my
Wrapped.
number 3.
Wow.
They were my number 3. Veronica, where did they place yours?
I don't have Spotify, but I'm sure they would have been right up at the top. Don't worry.
Yes, thank you, Veronica. Thank you.
Because I'm regressing, Linkin Park was my number 1.
Oh, mine was Fall Out Boy.
Not surprising.
My number 2 was Blink-182.
Where was Machine Gun Kelly?
He was not on there because the last 2 were Hadestown and then the woman who wrote Hadestown. So...
So JTT lands after sharing the kennel with Ringo the dog, and then he hides on a train, tries to hitch a car, can't do that, so he steals a 1-horse open sleigh from the local Christmas parade. What is it with movies and Christmas parades?
Yeah, I don't know that I think my local community ever has had a Christmas parade.
Oh, because it's cold. No one wants to be outside on Christmas.
Like 4th of July, yeah. And like I know
warm.
by my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4th of July by my grandma's house, they have a pontoon parade too on the lake. Everybody decorates their boat and they drive it past. But we don't have community. Well, Greendale has a tree lighting and Santa rides in on a fire truck. And then they say 3, 2, 1, Christmas, yay! And all the lights turn on in the village. And then you can meet with Santa if you're a little kid or all the stores are usually open. Probably not this year. Also, there's free hot chocolate that I also always burn my tongue on. Are you sensing a pattern here? And we usually get pizza at the end. Thank you.
Sounds magical.
I'm the one stuck in the 50s.
I don't know why anybody would make fun of Wisconsin. I'll say that much.
So JTT, he gets home. Well, first
he does.
He gets home, and he reunites with Jessica Biel. They make up. It's all doesn't make sense why she would ever take him back, but she does.
Yeah,
she's better than him.
She's in the Christmas. She's got the Christmas spirit.
True. She probably waited till New Year's to break up with him again.
Mm-hmm.
True. Also, she should have waited because he probably smelled foul, and they're like hugging and ew.
Yeah.
Ew, and that suit is covered in germs from all the public transportation he took. No, thank you.
So he gets home at 5:59, but then he intentionally waits so that he won't make it at 6, so he won't get the Porsche, as opposed to going in and being like, I don't need the Porsche.
Yeah, he should have just gone in, because it probably was a little bit hard on his family, because they still thought he wasn't going to come, except for the sister who knew he was coming. But I guess, like, for dramatic movie, like, a normal person would walk in and be like, oh, Dad, it's not about the car, I love you, like, hug, 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 I love my family. Whereas, for dramatic effect in this movie, they're going to be like, no, I'll wait outside with my little nose pressed against the glass, just looking in at my beautiful family, and then I'll go in afterwards. And the next step after the credits roll is to help me get out of this Santa suit.
So he goes in at like 6:02, and he's like, no, I don't need the car. But Gary Cole is like, no, you can still have the car. Take the car, son. It's yours. Have it. Still says
he learned nothing.
I know.
Like, by doing that, he's not learning anything. I know he's still saying no, but Hi, welcome back to my parenting podcast.
But also, didn't they, spend a ton of time restoring this car? They, sorry, if I don't know if we're allowed to swear on here.
You're allowed to swear. It's okay.
My bad.
Veronica, my poor virgin ears. No, you're allowed to swear. It's okay.
Spent all the time restoring it, spent all the time, shining it and getting ready for him, and then they park the convertible Porsche in the middle of the yard on Christmas with, snow on the ground. I'm like, are you trying to ruin it? I thought you cared about this car. What are you doing?
There's 6 inches of snow.
Yeah, the snow is going to ruin it. That thing, everybody in Wisconsin that I know that has a collector's car stores it away in the winter and only brings it out in the summer. That thing should be stored until summer. In the winter, it's a death trap. In the summer, it's hot. That's all there is to it.
So the family goes outside just as the Christmas parade goes past. And they're like, hey, there's the guy that stole our sled. And somehow JTT diffuses the situation by going, nice wings. And the leader is like, yes, thank you. I sewed them myself. I've been taking classes.
Because he's so charming. I also would have been like, you're right. They are nice. Thank you. You don't worry about that carriage. It's fine.
What are you doing later?
Are you sensing something? Or
are you feeling what I'm feeling? Because I'm definitely feeling something here. Just stop winking like that. Stop glistening your eyes.
Wouldn't it be so funny if we kissed right now? I'm kidding, unless.
Then the movie ends. That's the end of the movie.
Yay, we made it. Over. Anna's favorite holiday movie.
Look, Anna, I will say you're not the only person who loves this movie. I told my boss I was going to be on a podcast talking about it. And she freaked out. She said she watches the movie every year when she decorates her Christmas tree. She loves it.
Yes!
And you and my friend would get along swimmingly. I can just tell.
Shout out to Veronica's boss. You rock. I hope you enjoyed, if you've already set up your Christmas tree, enjoyed watching this movie. We are kindred spirits. Thank you.
not ignoring your boss, but Veronica,
fine.
what did
She'll
you
never
think
hear
of the movie? What did you think?
Form your
of
own
it?
opinion.
Yeah.
Form your own opinion.
Don't worry
I
about
told you
your
my
boss.
opinion. Jessica Biel, best part of the movie, didn't deserve either of those guys. And that's that. Those are my feelings.
That's it.
Okay.
That's the moral of the story. Good for Jessica Biel, bad for JTT. Pretty much everyone else in the movie kind of sucked, actually, besides Jessica Biel.
Whoa! And
Nolan.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Thank you. Okay, continue on. Veronica?
He wasn't a good person though.
No, but like the character, like his acting,
Was not great.
it was great. It was superb. It was superb.
I'm not sure what you were hoping for
Veronica.
there, but it was not. That's a good, Anna. I hate to bring it to you.
This was supposed to be Thirst Fest 2020, not Roast Fest 2020.
Look, maybe if I was watching this back in, I probably would have been too young in '98. Back middle school me, maybe probably would have been all over it.
True.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why I love it so much.
I'm with Veronica. Jessica Biel's the only redeemable person in this movie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. The plot, it's so we watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles a couple of weeks ago, and if that's the best case scenario, this is the worst case scenario of these kind of movies.
Yeah, true. Oh, I never thought about how similar these two are.
I was about to say, this is the kids' version of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
The script, it's just it seems like it's the first draft of the script, and they're like, you know what? No, we'll ad-lib on set. It'll be fine.
Oh God,
that's
they
how
played
the
Zip
cool
Zap
kids
Zop
do it.
before starting.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I think it's very well cinematographized.
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, they just had a lot of places to visit, and they probably just wanted to capitalize on the beautiful, scenic areas that they were filming.
I'm also
in,
a sucker whenever there's snow in a movie.
Of course,
especially
you
a
are.
Christmas
That doesn't surprise
movie.
me.
Yeah. That's part of the reason I really like White Christmas. It's really good, but the only disappointing part is that there's not snow until the end. I wish there was more snow.
Fair. It is called White Christmas. There should be lots of snow.
Anna, what are your
I give it
opinions?
a 5.
Oh my God.
I love it. It sparks so much joy.
I'm sorry, is this a 5 out of 5?
Yes.
Oh, Anna.
It sparks so much joy. Sorry, I shouldn't have given a rating yet till Dan asked for it. But
Yeah,
spoilers.
spoilers.
I put play. Sorry. I hit play, and the movie started, and I was immediately shot into happiness. I know it's just a cheesy, stupid little movie, and it's not the best writing. It's not the best Christmas movie by far. It's no Elf. I'll say it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so stinking cute, and it's just nostalgic and dumb, and...
Anna, I have a serious question for you.
Really...
Would you
Yes.
still like it so much if it did not star Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Absolutely not. I mostly like it because it has Jonathan Taylor Thomas in it. Why would you even ask that?
At least you can admit it.
Yes. No, it's cute. It sparks joy. So, I'll keep it. Thank you. And I like Jessica Biel, too. I will say that. I went through a hardcore Jessica Biel phase where after I finished every episode of 7-Eleven, I was like, 7-Eleven, oh my God. Every episode of 7th Heaven. After I finished every episode of 7th Heaven, I was like, I really like that actress. I wonder what else she's in. And so, I like Jessica Biel a lot, and I liked her as an actress. But here we are.
So some trivia about the movie that I found out.
Hit me. I'm ready.
So the movie was not released in theaters in the UK. Straight to video.
Fair.
That doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah. Jessica Biel dated the Ed Man after they met while filming.
Really? That
Yeah.
also doesn't surprise me because they didn't meet on the set of 7th Heaven?
I think he joined Seventh Heaven after this, right?
Maybe she got him the job.
Yeah.
Maybe. That would make sense.
And then that's really the only... The last piece of trivia is that the song over the credits is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays by NSYNC, where the two main vocalists were J.C. Chazé and a little ramen-haired boy named Justin Timberlake. And
oh, yes, because I always comment on that to myself.
yeah, and then a mere 14 years later, Jessica Biel would marry Justin Timberlake.
Yes, that's exactly what I always comment to myself about.
And then, within this past year, Justin Timberlake was photographed holding hands with another woman.
Don't even start. That gets me heated. I'm ready to square up with Justin Timberlake over that one faux pas.
That's really all the trivia that I could find. There is not much written about this movie.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by that.
Don't be sarcastic with me.
I'm sorry.
Dan, don't take that tone.
Am.
No, you're not.
I feel
Don't take
so
that
bad. Veronica, who's your favorite actor or actress?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I should have told you to prepare that
I'm
question.
not prepared.
Sorry, I forgot. Pick somebody you like. It can be because you like their skill. It can be because you think they're hot. It doesn't matter.
Because you like their skin.
I will say right now I'm a pretty big fan of Mandy Moore. Unlike Dan, I have watched more than one episode of This Is Us. Love her in that.
Okay.
Oh.
Also a big fan of Tangled. The voice acting there is on point. So I'll go out on a limb and say Mandy Moore, final answer.
Okay.
Ooh, lock it in. Good choice.
Survey says, would this movie be better, worse, or the same with Mandy Moore in Jessica Biel's place?
Ooh. Honestly, I love Mandy, but I think Jessica did it better. Listen, when I picture like young Mandy Moore, I'm thinking like A Walk to Remember, where she was like, like the goody two shoes. Like you need the sass for Allie, and like Jessica Biel brought that sass. Like she was ready to slug those dumb boys when they deserved it. I'm not convinced Mandy Moore would have slugged anyone.
That's true. That was when she was still in her like triple threat actor pop star phase.
Yeah.
She couldn't play anybody with like spunk or moxie because that would go directly against her public image.
Spunk? I don't think so.
I want candy, not spunk. Didn't she have a song called Candy? I don't know.
No, that was Aaron Carter.
Okay.
I think.
I don't know what to ask you, Anna. I always ask, would this be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas in it?
The same.
It would be the same. It's the same movie.
You can skip me this time. That's okay. I'll ask you, Dan, would this movie be better, worse, or the same with Jimmy Stewart playing Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
I got us 2 tickets to Cabo San Lucas.
Yes.
What? You don't want to go?
What?
What? A cherry red Porsche? That was turning into like Johnny Bravo.
That was getting a little different.
It would be worse. It would be worse. Because
Impossible.
Jimmy Stewart was 5 years dead at this time.
And
even
you don't
if he had
reanimated corpse,
I normally do, but even if he had been alive, not even he could save this. Its problems run deep.
How dare you? Truly, how dare you?
So I will give this movie 1.5 out of 5.
Out of 5 what?
Out of 5 rashes caused by the glue from the Santa suit.
Okay.
Veronica?
I was going to go with 2 out of 5.
Okay. And Anna, you already gave it.
Y'all low blowing.
Low bowling.
Y'all low balling. I can't talk today. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. I sound drunk. I haven't had a sip of alcohol.
Maybe that's the problem.
5. Yeah, probably. Yeah. 5 out of 5. Alcohol rashes. Oh my god. 5 out of 5 glue rashes.
If you would like to sponsor Anna She needs an AA sponsor. So,
What is that for? Anti-Alcoholics Anonymous? Oh, wait, that'd be AAA.
Anti-Alcoholics Anonymous?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't drink.
I want to.
Oh, that was a loud
publicized.
crackle you're just gonna get because I was laughing.
Oh, I got it. Don't worry, I heard it. Veronica, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Veronica.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have to have you back.
Yeah, we'll have you back when we do our normal stuff for a series. I would say a Jonathan Taylor Thomas series of films, but
there are none.
There's nothing there, so maybe we'll just do a Walk to Remember 3 times. I don't know.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry every single time we watch it.
I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'll just sobbing mess the entire time.
I dare you
that movie.
To move.
Stop! I wanted to name my kid Landon when I was little. Oh God.
Veronica, if you want people to find you on the internet or anything, or if you have anything you want to support, now's your time.
No, I'm a very boring person.
Shout out a charity or something. Whatever, man.
Or like it's something you've been watching on Netflix.
Yeah, what should we watch?
Not this.
Damn!
Anything but this. I will say I watched that, oh man, what was it called? That Hulu Christmas movie, keeping it in the Christmas theme, the one with Kristen Stewart and Aubrey Plaza.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
I know, I don't either. I just watched it the other day. This is so bad. Anyway, I really liked that one. That was 10 times better than I'll Be Home for Christmas. Sorry, Anna.
Stop roasting this film, this arte.
It's called Happiest Season. So if
thank you, Dan.
If you want a palate cleanser, take Veronica's recommendation and watch Happiest Season. If you want to find the show on the internet, it's at and in conclusion on Facebook and Twitter, at In Conclusion Podcast on Instagram. You can support us on our Patreon, patreon.com/inconclusion. Another way to support us, like and follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Heck
give a review, tell your friends. If you want to find me on the internet, I am on Twitter at DanO'Keefe86, and I'm not going to plug my Instagram. I'm on TikTok at NotDanO'Keefe.
Ugh.
And I hate
have
myself.
a TikTok too, but I'm not telling anybody about it because it's for me.
Okay.
My private TikTok viewing sessions.
Okay, secrets. Where can they find you?
You can find me not on TikTok because I use it only for watching TikToks. But you can find me on Instagram at AutomusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter at AutobotsRollOut, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll and the O in Out are zeros. That exhausted me at a point.
You died. So next week we will be doing something new for In Conclusion. We're not talking about one movie. We're talking about anywhere from 10 to 20. Because we will be doing a countdown of our favorite Christmas movies. So, stay tuned for that. You can find it same In Conclusion time, same In Conclusion channel. In the meantime, everybody stay safe, have fun, happy holidays, wear a mask. Bye-bye.
Bye. I hope you put that whole thing.
I like the airy breath after the fact also.
Thank you. I like to keep my breaths nice and breathy.
Oh, God.
I told Dan because the bed is bigger. I needed more room to spread.